Three! Three, that was really good. All right. 2, 3. Very cool, very cool. See? To the stage, Ella Purnell!
Wow, so many people! What's up, guys?
People are going crazy. There's so many jinxes out there.
A lot of jinxes, it's amazing. Everyone's so nice. I love cons. Everyone is just the best kind of people, truly. It's so nice to be here.
This is crazy. This is the biggest theater here. And wow, okay. So, also I'm really excited to talk to you because you are in 2 very successful video game adaptations, which feels like a very funny accident because it's like, okay, you're just sort of...
I know, and I'm not even a gamer, so I don't know how this has happened.
What happened to Jinx?
I don't know. I also, spoiler alert, I haven't watched all of season 2 of Arcane yet. I know, and I just can't bring myself to. I'll do it. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
Did you approach recording those lines and doing like a softer version of Jinx?
I really loved it. I was so looking forward to it because I guess it's a question I didn't even really know I had. Like, what would Jinx have grown up to be like if she wasn't Jinx, right? And it was also fun. So I've been working on the show for, I don't know how, 5 years, and then it's like I got to play a new character again for the first time, and we found it together and tried different things, and it took us a second to get there, and it was like very much informed by what she looked like. She looks kind of like like an art student, like she's cool, and it was kind of fun to keep the raspiness of Jinx and the playfulness of her. And she sort of probably has a lot less trauma than Jinx, so there's like, maybe it sits in a higher register and that will subconsciously inform how you view the character. Things like that were really fun to play with.
Hey, Jinx also loses a finger, has that kind middle sort of metal finger. Are you afraid of being typecast as someone who loses fingers?
That would actually be one of the worst things to happen to me. Purely because, do you know how annoying it is to have that finger painted on me every single day? This finger is the bane of my life. It is the worst thing. We've tried so, because they paint it, right? But like, this is the finger, I don't know if you guys know this, that you use the most for everything all the time. And then you have to take it off, you put it back on, it's very annoying. I just have this like poop finger all the time. I have to tell people when I go home at the end of the day, I'm like, it's okay, don't freak out, it's just, whatever, it's just very annoying. So I don't want to lose any more fingers. I just don't want to do it, I'm over it, I'm over the finger.
I love the idea of you're just like on site, you're like, yeah, it's over there, and they're like, ah.
Yeah, or like I go to Whole Foods, I'm like picking up the vegetables, and people are looking at me like, stop touching the vegetables with your poop finger. Water, you need anything?
If you could grab me water, that'd be great.
I can take that.
No, I'm joking. No, I appreciate it. Like, yeah.
Top 10 biggest regrets of my life. But I do want to tell everyone that Ella did give me a water bottle backstage, so we're sort of, I have closure now. Thank you, MegaCon Orlando, for giving me that closure. Because the show, also 17 Emmy nominations, like, guys, he's a star. I have to know, like, when you're filming that show, like, obviously, I mean, you're working with Walton Goggins, it's like, what a huge set piece, like, it's clearly, like, Jonathan Nolan, like, all these people, but then, do you know how big it is when you're filming it, and then when it comes out, you're like, oh, whoa, this is, like, actually huge, and does it feel different going into season 2, where, like, okay, everybody's watching this?
It totally does feel different. Well, what's different about it is, you know, season 1, I think we kind of knew we had something special, but you just don't know, right, how it's gonna go. Coming into season 2, it felt like a big deal. Like, the crew have seen the show, they love the show. Most of the people, if not all of them, who played the games, love the games. It just feels like there's such an energy every single day of like, we have something really cool that we're maintaining and we're keeping it going, and it's a really exciting time. I'm putting on the suit again for the first time, and the costume fitting was like, I got kind of emotional because I feel that's changed my life in so many ways, and I really love this character, and it's just to be able to do it again, it feels really, really lucky to be there.
Did you play anything before Fallout? Like even just like, kind of like...
No, that was my first video game.
Really?
Yeah, first and probably only.
Is it the fact that it's a video game go through your mind at all? That it's just like, oh, like, you know, you're doing your own thing and it's its own story, but like, are you just like, oh man, I hope this is like, you know...
It's a really interesting question. I think in some ways, yeah. Like, it's obviously incredibly hard to adapt a video game because you're changing the entire experience, right? You're no longer in control of the thing, you're watching someone else do it. I think they did a really great job by putting the Ghoul, Maximus and Lucy, you know, like the good, the bad, and the ugly, these 3 huge archetypes. And you get to experience the game from so many different players' perspectives almost in a way. So I'm not really anything to do with that, but why I am glad I played the game is because it gives me a greater appreciation. You know, like the first time, oh, I can't say that.
The first time what?
I so nearly just got sued by Amazon.
They're not in here.
The first time something happens, you know, you just get like a greater appreciation. Or like, even walking on the set for the first time, like I know what that means. You know, seeing the vault and seeing them build everything for real, having the vault door open, like that really, it means so much. Yeah. Well, look, we're not done yet. I've only read some of the episodes. I've read all of the ones that are available to me. I'm not just like picking and choosing. I'm not gonna read them, that would be crazy.
Yeah, are you bummed that you have to be spoiled on the show when you read the script?
Sometimes I try not to read the other character scenes because I like to be surprised when I watch it. Like I had that with Maximus' stuff in season 1. Almost everything he did, I was like, oh, who's that guy? Like I had no idea about anything outside of my own little universe. It's kind of fun.
Oh wait, I love that. Is that like a technique that you like to do?
No, it's just laziness. That's the truth.
Has there been like a fun favorite sort of fandom that you've had?
Oh, so many. I really do love these things. I love hearing everyone's stories and like, especially the ways that Arcane and Yellow Jackets and fall out. They like bring people together. You know, I love hearing stories of like, oh, this helped me reconnect with my father, or I bonded with my sister. Like, I love that stuff. I love hearing about that.
Yeah. Character.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I don't know. It's probably a combination of something that appeals to me at that time. Maybe it's like, oh, I haven't done this genre, I'd love to work with this director, or I've never played a school teacher, or whatever it is. That was
really specific.
Such a rogue example. I don't know where that came from.
No, I love it. Favorite subject in school?
English? I like writing.
Okay.
I don't know, it kind of depends. I think also sometimes for me it's the tone. Like it has to be either a little bit funny or a little bit mind-blowing, you know, or thought-provoking, or it just has to look gorgeous. You know, like you're working with a director who has such a vision for it. And if you're lucky enough to get all three, then great. And sometimes, you know, it's a gamble.
I need y'all to make some noise, show all the love. And we're going to start this off. We're going to do a roll call. We're going to bring everybody out here. Make some noise for Robbie Cabot Conyer, Ryan Kira Armstrong, Kiriana Crowder, Robert Timothy Smith, and Mr. Jude Law! Watch your step, there's lightsabers about. Yes, please, join us. Hello! Oh my goodness.
How are we doing, everybody? Are we good?
Yes! We're out here. Guys, thank y'all so much for joining us. As I understand, this is your very first MegaCon, is that correct? Very first one? Okay, so listen. With it being your first MegaCon, we have something special. We got these awesome stickers that we got to share.
No, you don't!
Stickers.
Oh my
We gotta
gosh.
put these on. This is very important. There we go. Yes, there we go. We got one. Here we go. Yes, Jude, you need one too, right?
I'm a professional.
There we go. I love it. I love it. We're gonna celebrate that right now, right? Very first MegaCon. Were you a fan before you got cast?
Should I start that?
You want to start this?
Let's do it.
My experiences in a decade far, far away. Way before theirs. Well, I was just a prime age.
Yes.
It was, what, 78?
Yep.
Is that right?
77 officially.
78.
Yep.
78 in the UK. 'cause
Oh,
it came out
wow,
later.
they kept it from you for
There was
a
none
whole
of that.
year?
There was none of that simultaneous release.
Disrespectful.
In the UK, we'd always sit and hear about these films being released in America. Maybe next year. So I was about 6, and you know, I'd been taken to the cinema by my parents. I'd seen Disney animation, and then there was Star Wars, and it just blew my mind. It blew my dad's mind, blew my sister's mind, and it went from that to obviously also the total immersion where I was playing with the toys.
Of course.
And, you know, you get the bed sheets and the post. I mean, it just took over.
Of course.
And in many ways, I look back and realize it kind of enforced how I played, acted. You know, playing characters running around. You'll be Han, you'll be Chewbacca, you'll be Vader. I mean, and so it was hugely informative. I love it. I love it.
Were you ever Chewbacca? Robert, what about you? Were you a fan?
Oh yeah. I mean, I really was introduced to it by my dad. I think that's a universal thing getting introduced to it. But I watched the first Star Wars movie, and I had also heard about the characters, the weapons, you know. I fell in love with it. I mean, I love sci-fi, so I think really Star Wars was kind of everything that franchise was to me. Like, I don't know, it was everything I wanted in one franchise, and I really enjoyed it. And I was Darth Vader for Halloween.
You were about that big, right?
Yeah.
It was also probably with my dad, but what's funny is that whenever we would go on set, like within like the first, I feel like every single day of shooting, he was like fangirling even more than me on set. So it was so much fun, and we got to like share it together, and yeah, I feel so lucky.
Kiriana?
Well, I was also introduced by my dad. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's very basic now, but I was introduced when I was 4 years old, and I saw Princess Leia, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I love Star Wars. I know, right? I dressed up as her when I was really young. There must be a photo somewhere out there of me with like towels in my hair and like a giant comforter on, but that was my first memory of Star Wars.
Ravi, what about you?
I want you all to take a guess who introduced me to Star Wars. It was my dad. That was a difficult question. No, but yeah, I watched A New Hope for the first time with my dad, and you know that was his favorite movie. And he introduced it to me when I was a few days old. And that's not an exaggeration. I'm not just saying that for the bit. But really, I had no clue what was happening, so I rewatched it again when I was 5. But it's just such a fun. You know, it's such a fun experience. It's just a charming story, a charming idea that, you know, I think we all enjoyed at some point. So, you know, I'm glad that I was introduced to it at a very young age.
For Bryce Dallas Howard! Were you ready for that? Like literally, that was everything right there. I love it. Thank you for joining us tonight. How has the weekend been for you so far?
So fun.
Excellent.
I always say I'm on the wrong side of the table. I'm such a fangirl, and so it is just wonderful to get to connect with people who care about storytelling as much as, you know, we all do, perhaps even more. It's really inspiring.
First entrance into Star Wars.
I have kind of an obnoxious entrance into Star Wars.
It's not obnoxious, we understand. It's not. Come on.
So, George Lucas is.
Name drop. That's the way.
Yes.
So George Lucas is one of our dearest family friends. He passed my dad when my dad was 17 years old in American Graffiti. My dad was already with my mom then. So George has watched, you know, my dad grow up, get married, have kids, all of that, and they worked on Willow together, which was really wonderful. And they happened to all have kids at the same time. So George's oldest child is the same age as me. His middle child is the same age as my sisters. Next one, my brother. You know, so it's been something where they were just sort of parenting together, you know, and so yeah, no, I watched it at Skywalker Ranch.
Kind of cool, like creating our own thing and not just, you know, going along and making something longer that we were actually like doing like something completely new. And I thought that was really, really, really dope. And creating the deal was very, very fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was really fun because I saw like Goonies and E.T. when I was young. Like, my dad made sure I right. But it was so much fun, like getting to do something like Star Wars that I love, but also getting to add like my own twists into it. Because like Robbie said, you know, John Watts and Chris Ford, they gave us a lot of creative freedom to kind of create the character and make it our own. And like I got to use like things from other characters in Star Wars and parts of myself into my character. And so it was just all such a fun process, and I'm like so grateful that I get to be a part of this.
As they said, so much creative freedom, it was so much fun. It was really like going to Disneyland every single day. I mean, I just had a blast, and like I said, I've always been a fan, especially of Han Solo. And Vernon immediately reminded me of him and like the costume fitting and like the wardrobe, and also like Princess Leia. She's not like afraid to fight for what she thinks is right, and I feel like Vern is the same way.
You know, I'm not speaking for you, Jude, I'm just talking about you. No, but genuinely, and Jude as well, you know, he obviously, Jude Law, and one of the most iconic actors of all time, but also an incredible father. And I really saw you with, you know, this cast really kind of, you know, taking on that role. Yeah, father, big brother, you know, and as a director, what I'll just say is that, you know, I felt like it was one of the most kind of organized, focused, aligned shoots that I've ever been on. I went to college with John Watts and Chris Ford, like was friends with John Watts and Chris Ford in college. And so getting to see them go through this rise has been remarkable, and boy were they ready for this.
That's awesome.
And so, you know, it was just such a joy to get to step in as a director because everything was already happening. You know, and they had already created their characters, they were already, you know, doing all of this, so it was a dream.
The thing for me was I would drive to set, I would have a cup of ramen, I would have a cook, and then I would get ready, and I would act and create meal and have fun with it. I would wear everything, like all my clothes on set too, and I would have like a camera rig, like how they do Avatar, and I would also switch out with like a super performer, and she would basically have like the whole like animatronic head on.
Casey Borman. Sorry, that's her name. Sorry, just had to.
Little quick shout out.
Continue.
And she would have the whole animatronic head, and we would kind of switch out like that, and that's how we would kind of do scenes. And yeah.
Did you have to go back and do a lot of line recording when
Oh yeah, I was in that studio for a little while.
I could have used earlier than us.
I could have used a couple of cups of ramen there. Right?
Were there any sort of injuries that you might have gotten, or were you really kind of proficient with it?
Honestly, we kind of like the idea that he had zero lightsaber experience,
right?
Because he wouldn't pick one up before.
Fair.
And so we consciously, which doesn't often happen when you're prepping for a part, we consciously decided to do nothing. It's like, shall we? No. Let's just... But I mean, I've done stuff, you know, in the past with swords, with knives, cutlasses, all that, some fencing. So I'd used something similar before, but this was a lightsaber. and they would do wonderful enhancements on the set. So whenever the lightsaber came out and it was lit, you'd get yes. You'd play it in the room. So I mean, initially you just can't believe it. You're like, and smiling.
Yeah, I'll even say, like, one time on set we were waiting, and like the props guys were here, and they had the lightsaber, and I was like. And it was so cool. I almost fainted.
So I'm not adept at a lightsaber, like definitely not. A lightsaber, that takes a lot of training.
Okay.
Years and years and years of training.
Yes.
Years of training. But I would have an issue even if I did have training because I cannot not make the sound.
You're supposed to, right? Isn't it? No, that's one of the rules, isn't it?
I mean, I wonder if they were playing the noise on set just so that you wouldn't go like, you're like, no sound effects required.
It's so hard, especially when you're like blasting stuff, and it's just like you want to go pew, pew.
It was very hard not to say. Here's an insight. So blasters don't have any kick.
Okay.
And I've played parts in the past where you have to fire arms, and so you have to add a little kick. So I'm going pew pew, and they no pew pew.
There's no recoil.
Just point it.
See, now I want to know from everybody, what is your Star Wars sound effect? Are you a lightsaber or are you a pew pew? What's okay?
That was good.
Brian, what is yours? What's your sound effect? Are you a lightsaber or a pew pew? Yes.
I feel like I have to be a pew pew.
Okay,
Because
all right.
burning a blaster?
Yeah. That's what a captain does. I like it. Curiana. Yeah, you have to answer this now.
I said pew pew. There's actually there's a chicken place here in Florida. It says, it's like, I thought it was Pew Pew. It's Pew Pew, yeah! It's so good. If you guys want a good restaurant.
All right, Robert.
I'm But there's one scene, I don't know if anyone saw this in the background of episode 3, when I fall down the hill.
Yes.
This guy right here.
There was a part where we were doing like a fighting scene.
Right?
It didn't make it, but trash crabs. Yeah, with the trash crabs, and that was fun.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say something.
Here we go, here we go.
So in the episode that we did together, there was a big giant fight sequence where they did some pretty bad A things. It was very cool and trained for it for quite a while. And it got caught.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
So tough. But yeah, I got to see them all in action, and honestly, it's terrifying to be an adult in their presence because they're children and they just throw their bodies in ways which would break us.
In episode 1, that scene where I'm on my way to school, I'm a little bit late and I'm on my hover bike and I fall down that ravine. That was me, and that was probably the scariest day of my mother's life. I was supposed to just like roll down the hill, right? And instead, I did a full headstand. I stood on my head and landed on my back.
What would it be and why? Bryce, we're gonna start with you.
You're gonna start with me.
You've had you watched this at Skywalker Ranch. I mean, you kinda have to have an answer here.
Force Ghost.
Oh. You see how she protested and literally had a great answer? I see how it is.
I mime a force push all the time to my
Right.
family, and so I'm always like I'm like trying to get them to move away.
Okay.
But what I would really want, it would be the ability to,
Show up, project.
yeah, live forever.
Give some insights. Hey,
Yeah.
use the force. It's good for you.
Yeah,
I got you. I like
totally,
that.
exactly. Show up for the people you love.
I love that.
Jude.
Well, I'm old school. I'd go mind trick, Jedi mind trick.
Yes. Okay.
I remember seeing when Guinness did that in the first one, I just was thinking, that seems possible. Especially I thought I work hard. Maybe I can change people's minds.
Like, you know when you look at something hard enough and you like do that? I mean, I don't know. I think I probably have to go with mind tricks again, but
Okay.
I think I would honestly just like to have the force just to be able to do the thing that Kylo does where he like holds the bullet. Because I think that is like the coolest thing in the world.
I like that. Carry on.
Maybe, like, using the force to fly.
Yes.
But not like when you're choking, but like...
Like you're being lifted up by someone else who's choking you, correct.
To elevate people, not to choke them unless I need to. I got you.
Personally, I think I would just want to do, these are not the droids you're looking for.
I like that. Robbie.
Ooh, okay, so, I have a little quick story here. Backstage when we were signing autographs and whatnot, since we're very professional around here, we were taking a break with Mr. Darth Vader and some stormtroopers, and we got to do a picture where he was force choking some of us. So I would do that because that's my personal favorite. I feel like that'd be fun to shoot too. I feel like that'd be fun, like to actually get to do that on what.
And I'm just 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you.
Shaboy. So with this being your first experience here at like a Comic-Con event, I gotta know, are you excited to do this more? Can we look forward to more things that you're gonna be at like this where your fans get to engage with each of you?
Absolutely. For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing. I started in theatre, and the beautiful thing about theatre is the immediate reaction you have with an audience is as much a part of the performance as getting up and doing the performance. And film is funny like that. You have an extraordinary experience, you go away as a group, you make something, but meeting your audience and meeting people who are enthusiastic and love storytelling, just like Bryce said, is a huge important part of what we do. You know, we do it, you're here, we do it together, you've got to, you know. So you're a big, big part of all this.
We so thoroughly appreciate your presence here and everything that you've done for not just our entertainment, but for Star Wars, the craft, all the love. Thank you guys so very much. MegaCon, join me in thanking